Acunetix Web Vulnerability Scanner tests websites for vulnerabilities. It also contains several powerful hacking tools that could be used for deep penetration testing. In this video, I will use the HTTP editor tool that comes bundled with Acunetix Web Vulnerability Scanner to break into a website. Be aware that here I am breaking into my own website. Hacking into websites without permission is illegal and should not be done. I will first load the results from a previous scan. In this scan, I identified a whole bunch of different problems with my website, including cross-site scripting attacks and several SQL injection vulnerabilities. Let me click on a critical bug and see how I can exploit it. Here I am selecting a typical source code disclosure vulnerability. In this case, the vulnerable script is called showimage.php and is intended to load images from the server. By manipulating the HTTP GET variables, I can exploit the script to load any server file I want. First, let me test the request to load a legitimate image from the server. To do this, I will edit the file variable to point to images/logo.gif. Checking the result shows that the file has been loaded by the PHP script. Now I will attempt to load a protected file by changing the image variable value to login.php. Login.php is a server-side script that contains secret login code. It should never be seen by the hacker. After changing the variable, I click Start to perform the request with the manipulated values. As you could see from the Response Data tab, the login.php script has been loaded into the HTTP editor after the variable manipulation. By performing a text search for the PHP keyword, I am able to verify that instead of plain HTML, I have downloaded the entire login script. This makes hacking look easy, but do not be fooled. Here I'm using sophisticated tools that are doing most of the work for me. The HTTP editor tool is packed with features. I would like to give you a quick tour of the most useful ones. Just like with all HTTP requests, we can set whether to use GET, POST or HEAD. We can set the protocol in a similar way. This time I will choose HTTP 1.1. Here we set the full URL on which we would like to execute the HTTP request. This button will toggle between HTTPS and HTTP, turning encryption on and off. This is the interesting part. The variables and headers that are sent to the server with the HTTP request are fully customizable. This allows me to do certain manipulations that are not possible to do in a standard web browser. The HTTP request buttons give me the option to add, remove, and edit the HTTP headers that are sent with the request. It is very common for hackers to manipulate certain parameters, such as the user agent and cookie headers, because these affect the way in which the server processes the request. The response headers allows me to see the response that comes from the server. Lots of analysis is possible here. For example, the headers reveal that the web server is running Apache 2.0 with PHP version 5.1.2. The Response Data tab shows the data returned from the server in its raw format. With the response data, we can perform searches to look for certain pieces of text inside the result. The View Page tab will render the HTTP response inside a built-in browser. It is useful when analyzing HTML, CSS, and image data. To view cookies, I could click on the View Cookies inside the Response Headers tab. In this video, I showed you that some vulnerabilities need manual work to uncover completely. Performing this task without the proper tools can be time-consuming and error-prone. The HTTP editor integrates seamlessly with the Acunetix scanning interface, so you can switch between the report and the editor without any trouble. Penetration testing has never been easier. Thank you for watching this short video. You may visit our website to download the free version of Acunetix Web Vulnerability Scanner and begin testing with the tool right away.